Hey YouTube. I know there are a ton of videos out there on Rolex dive watches, but I thought I would share my owner's perspective of the 43mm Rolex Sea-Dweller. I think my 7.25-inch wrist handles the watch very well, and it doesn't feel too big or too thick to me. I also have the James Cameron Deep Sea, which provides me with some additional perspective that other owners may not have. The case here is 43 millimeters. It's 15.2 millimeters thick. The lugs are fairly compact, providing for a 50 millimeter lug to lug measurement. The watch does sit into the wrist, and the thickness is not really an issue for me. But listen, watches wear different on everybody's wrist, and what looks right on me may not look right to you. So if you have the opportunity, obviously try these on before you buy them. Personally, I like my sports watches to have some presence, but not be obnoxious. And I think the Sea-Dweller hits that nail on the head. The case, with its trip lock crown, 15.2 millimeters of thickness, offers 4,000 feet of water resistance, which is absolutely crazy. To be honest, no human needs that much capability in their watch. However, it is nice to know how well built this little machine on your wrist really is. It is quite impressive. The dial is a nice glossy black and has a pop of red where the Sea-Dweller text is written. That's one of the standout features of this dial compared to other Rolex dive watches. This is a diver after all, so you would expect some pretty sweet lume, and as you can see, not too shabby. You have the beautiful tried and true brushed stainless steel oyster bracelet with the glide lock system providing 20 millimeters of adjustment, plus it also has a foot block in case you actually plan on diving with this bad boy. The movement provides for 3 days of power reserve, so feel free to take breaks from the watch every couple days and you won't need to worry about winding it again. Okay, so that's enough of the facts, and let's go to my opinion now. So generally, I like to buy the non-standard versions of these mass-produced watches. For example, if I was to get the Submariner, I would want either the Hulk or the new Kermit. As for the Deep Sea, I have the James Cameron rather than getting the standard black version. Aside from the two-tone Sea-Dweller, there's really no non-standard version of this particular watch. It only comes one way: black bezel, black dial. However, I do like the fact that it is considered a 50th anniversary edition, which makes this a bit more special, at least in my eyes. I think the watch offers more presence than the standard Submariner and more everyday wearability than the Deep Sea provides. To me, it's the perfect middle ground of the Rolex dive watch lineup. So there are some negatives that I'd like to talk about, but these negatives aren't that bad really, and obviously I got comfortable with them because I purchased the watch ultimately. But as you can see in this photo, the bezel is definitely prone to fingerprints and smudges, which do bother me. However, I can trade off this minor inconvenience for the fact that it is a ceramic bezel, which is scratch resistant. I may dislike fingerprints and smudges, but for me at least, I hate scratches. Another thing that bothers me is that there are quite a handful of black bezel Rolexes out there these days, and they are all starting to blend in quite a bit. You have the Sea-Dweller here, the Submariner Date, the Deep Sea, even the Daytona has black ceramic bezels. And some are suggesting that the new Explorer 2 may have a black ceramic bezel. Plus, you have all the prior catalog watches with the black bezels. At least the GMTs are now two-tone bezels, and they got rid of the all-black version. But when I go out to eat to a nice restaurant, it is not uncommon for me to see another black bezel dive watch, and it does annoy me. This kind of is what it is, and for the people that are in the know, they can recognize the subtleties of all the different Rolex pieces. Lastly, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Rolex. You may think I hate the waitlist, you may think I hate the premiums, but actually that doesn't really bother me that much. What I hate is that Rolex is not as exclusive as it once was. Because of social media, all types of people want to buy these watches from all different economic segments. Hey, it's fine. If you're a busboy and you want to buy a Rolex, you've saved, you've earned, good for you. But what bothers me is that you are only buying it for the status it represents. I've heard stories of someone complimenting someone else's watches saying, hey, nice Submariner. And the person responds, it's a Rolex, clearly not even knowing what they own. So how do I overcome this and still purchase these watches? Well, I don't let these idiots get in the way of my enjoyment and my knowledge of what I am purchasing. Of course, I don't like getting lumped in with these people, but at the end of the day, Rolex has excellent designs, excellent build quality, and an amazing history. Rolex has the best liquidity out of any other brand, and if you purchased a watch from a secondary dealer in the last 3 to 4 years, say, you probably made some money, or at worst, lost maybe 10 to 20% max. You can't say that about pretty much any other mass-produced brand. Currently, there is about a 20% secondhand premium on the Sea-Dweller, which I think is quite a bargain considering where the Submariner is trading. So unless you have smallish wrists, and if you want a black bezel, black dial Rolex dive watch and you like the date function, I feel like this is a no-brainer over the generic black Submariner date. So hopefully this video was somewhat informative. If I missed anything or you have any questions, please comment. And I do like to interact with people, so send me a comment. I will respond. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Obviously, this is the first time I've done any kind of editing. I know it was nothing magical. I tried my best. I just thought that these watches deserved better than me just holding them into a camera and speaking. But hopefully it'll improve in time. Until next time, see you later.